Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where I feel like I've worked us into kind of a weird position, and generally, you're not supposed to have this many cities as an LIU player, clearly, from the design of the faction quest. So I had big hopes. I had big hopes that we'd be able to finish our quest and actually run out a quest victory. The LIU move fast enough that the victory quest, which requires you to run all over the world, is not like hugely inappropriate for us. And given the makeup of this map with all the dead space and everything, I thought, you know what, we might have a real chance. I'm less less confident now that we can pull that off, given that we're going to need somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 additional pearls to do it. And I don't think, like, we're going to have a winter in 6 turns, but I'm not sure that 200 pearls are going to be available to us. And that's assuming that we don't need any more pearls after that for future steps, which is not a thing that I actually know. Like, who knows? From here, it could go anywhere. So we have a couple of options. As is often the case, we are way behind on research, but our science output has gotten pretty solid now. We're starting to get pretty competitive, and it is at least potentially the case that we could try to push for a science victory. Where am I at on researches currently? 34. So we'd have to get 11 more researches before we could start final era stuff. And at, like 2 turns per research, that's probably viable. If we're any slower than that, it's probably not. So that seems tough. 34 is a rough place to be at this point in the game. We have the option of pursuing a Supremacy Victory. Only 5 players are in control of their original capital, and we are on the border of one of those. I would not want to have to take the other 3 myself. I think that it becomes much more viable for us to pursue a Supremacy Victory if we can see at least one of the AI players eliminate one of the others. Interesting. So the Vultures are at war with the Draken. I mean, that can't be good for the Vultures, right? Yeah, the Draken have been in a much better position than the Vultures have been all game, so... And this chart, like, it's hard to rely on this chart because it doesn't separate naval strength from infantry strength. So at a 34k strong land army, we honestly might have the best. We might have the best ground military in the game. Because we know everybody else has real ships, right? So some portion of their strength is coming from naval power that we can largely ignore. Is any other move viable? We certainly have not been producing enough diplomatic points to feel confident about being able to reach a diplomatic victory. I'm at 15% right now. An economic victory is probably not in the cards. We've been pretty poor on money outcome for a long time, but then, like, you produce a huge percentage, like 90% of what you need for the economic victory in the last, like, 15 or 20 turns. So I don't know, maybe we could spin that engine up. I'm not hopeful. So yeah, that's really, I think, what it comes down to is, like, we can have a look at where we end up pearl-wise between our own pearl gathering and what we managed to trade off of other players. Excuse me, my throat all of a sudden is recalcitrant. But my guess is that we're talking about science versus supremacy for actually getting out of this game. And the Supremacy Victory, I mean, it doesn't sound so bad. It doesn't sound so unlikely, is maybe a better way to put it. Oh, we don't have any money. I was like, we should remember to buy spices, because we still have Irkin abilities that we want to unlock, right? Yeah, we still need spices, we still need gold. How much hydromiel is on the market? Not very much. We have 26 +1 per turn from our Urkin. You know, I've never used Tremors before. But this might actually be like a very good game for it. Where like a lot of our target cities are on different land masses from us. It's definitely interesting. So if we were to try to negotiate some aggression, what? It's like red and purple, right? We'd want to get red and purple into a war in some way. Did you spend some of your pearls? Yep, you sure did. Criminy. They really want those pearls, huh? Okay, well, I mean, getting to peace is easy enough. But let's see about a declaration of war on red. How are they positioned? I apologize, I know we're like just jumping back and forth between the map and the menu over and over again. So the actual answer to that question is we don't know. They are positioned in such a way that they could potentially really go at each other, but they also might fail to do so. And the AI attacking from one continent to another continent, it's always a little tricky, right? Like we can never be sure that they will make much progress. But just kind of like stirring up that trouble, I think is probably wise for us. So let's see if we can get there. Sorry, I absolutely am going to do it again. Are we worried about purple as a research victory threat? There are 4 technologies behind red. The unfortunate answer there is maybe. Does any of this make a reasonable dent? No, they know what's good for them. They're not eager to get into a war that would be a total nightmare for them. Could we engage it from the other side at all? Because honestly, at this point, they have enough technology. They're only 1 tech below the threshold for getting to start the next era. So, the final era. So giving them a bunch of technology, while it does power them up in a way that is potentially dangerous, it also will really raise the cost of their endless techs, and we're not giving them any science tech here because they already have all their science tech. So honestly, this is maybe not bad. Give them a bunch of adamantium. So we could get away with maybe like 60% of our stock. Yeah. That's almost all my influence. We're probably going to have to commit hard on influence from here. But in the long run, this probably does not help them all that much. Right, these food technologies are good, but it's turn 92. They'll be able to build a canal lock somewhere, which will matter. They never bothered to research cultivation, which I don't think is a good play. Yeah, actually, I like that. I like that quite a bit. Okay, that's provoked a whole situation. Would you join? Probably not. They would pay me for peace. That's kind of fun. They want to be sure that I'm not going to come after them. I might take that. This is a no. No, thank you. Actually, while we're here, while we're making friends, could we? How hard would a map exchange be to rig up? Okay, well, you know, in the end game, it's like you do go through a lot of titanium really fast. Although I guess you go through a lot of titanium really fast if you have a huge amount of Hyperium to spend, which actually has not been a problem for us in most of our games this series, but this time it's an issue. We're pulling 11 per turn. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make this a. I just want to have vision of where all the borders are. So does that reveal the rest of the world for us? Not entirely, but close enough. Okay, and where's purple's? Which one of? Oh, I can't. I don't get a marker of the capital. Right. But okay, so we can hope that red will actually do some work with purple here. It may well cause red to come to harm because green might, move privateers over or something. I think we've stirred the pot here significantly. Do I want to take peace with purple, or do I think that's going to make things weird with red? I think I want to take the peace with purple, honestly. Is there anywhere that would probably enable trade? Actually, yeah, trade through Irimda could be a possibility, although with Irimda being owned by a player who's not friendly to us, I'm not sure if that would actually work. But since Irimda does border Karat, trade route through there is at least theoretically possible. Although it looks like Vixel doesn't have docks. You do have dock tech. You just haven't built any over here. Okay, well, I think the upsides here are mostly that purple is less likely to declare war on us suddenly, so that's good enough for me. Just trying to limit the number of people who might come after them. Okay. Yeah, I think we caused some problems there. That's fun. That was the Untitled Goose Game of diplomatic moves. So we only need 840 to maintain. If we wanted to move up to something like that, which I think would be very strong for us, we have a lot of districts. We're looking at 1470. As it is right now, we're going to produce what? Another 1120-ish. 1470 is not out of the question. If we wanted to devote a city to influence for a while or something. Yeah, we could pull. Well, would I want it to be the capital though? We have a city or two where we have better influence rates, right? We have at least one city that still has a cultist for a governor. And Edina is doing something that's not critically important right now. Obviously the dust refinery is nice, but we're doing just fine. Yeah. So 177, 8 times is going to be, that's another 560. So that's sufficient right there. That would get us to 1470. Let's finish the cargo docks, and then we'll probably move the people from Gleka as well. Yeah, okay. I think we have a viable sort of direction here. And then we are very much thinking about... Why did I turn this on? We are very much thinking about making this war happen. Except that that's going to cost additional influence. We're back at Cold War, so it's not going to be too expensive. That's manageable. We can afford that. We could give them a warning to reduce, and then wait a couple of turns to reduce the overall influence payout. But I don't want them to know what's coming. They should already, but I don't know that they do. And so, here, let's head back this way. We're gonna pick up the new monk when it is completed. Do we want to wait for winter to drop the attack? I mean, that'll lower the cost of it. I'm not sure if I do though. It's a long time. Okay, hey, we did it. So we have earned ourselves the Band of Merriment. Every governor can now easily equip a +15 approval accessory, which is a big deal. That's not happening. Also not happening. I love the fact that both of them are worried, though. That's very good news for us. Kendre does not reveal any spies. I do not have good insight on this, whether the AI actually, sort of does the figuring. How closely they're paying attention to the rising security levels in your cities. But I feel like our roundups basically never catch a spy, so I suspect that the AI does, they do watch for that number to start climbing, and when the number starts climbing, they just pull the spy out. We've had catches happen once or twice, so At this point, the ability to make alliances is probably not super relevant. We could get another assimilation slot. Do we have another faction that we would want to assimilate? 10% food, extra vision. Honestly, I don't know. That seems pretty low impact. There's got to be something better. We're just in a really weird place with our resources. And we have enough... We can build a couple of Imperial fundings. And, like, obviously, this in the stolen Mycera capital is very powerful. You know what? Let's go back and get statistical methods and fluid biomechanics. Even if we're not going for a science victory, continuing to up our rate of science so that we can push through to, like, Serum of Iteru before the game's over obviously has some utility. How many pros is that? 3? It's good enough to completely derail all my plans. And we'll try to stay on the border between green and purple here so that if one of them closes borders to us, we can still approach. Yep, you can go get this. There was nothing in it. Fun. And then this settler is just going to, like, sit in a garrison somewhere after that, I think. So, cost of heroes right now... high. More than some by a bunch. How many spices do I actually need? There's only one spice boost left. No, sorry, spices are the one where we had 2. There's only one gold boost left. So let's go ahead and buy all of these. And then we'll buy the gold as well. I don't have any gold. I have a small amount of gold. Okay. Working toward it. So initiative and movement, or... Ooh. I think I'm going to take the initiative and movement, but Living Watchtower is pretty good. I think Living Watchtower is probably the better move a lot of the time. If we couldn't see Mapal without it, I may well have taken it there. I am disappointed to see that they're really stocking up at Mapal, all the way up to 7 units in the garrison. Well, I guess if we don't wait for winter to launch the attack, then we're basically guaranteeing that even if we find a ton of pearls, we will not be able to finish our faction quest. Because, like, the last thing we need is to gain another city if we were going to try that, right? That's a lot of notifications. Alright, somebody built the reliquary. The necrophages have closed their borders. This has no effect on us at all. The Moonleaf's over. This is Gleka. Gleka does benefit from these things. And then I think we are just going to bump everybody over to here. Oh, also, I should actually remember to... Well, I guess at the moment, you're the only person who needs it. But I should remember to actually do this. Did I really not bump that city a category? Oh, no, it just isn't updating. Okay, that will bump that city up a category. How are we doing on Moonleaf? The Moonleaf's coming in. So how much time do we have left on the rest of our boosters? It's going to run out in 2. That's in 4. This still has 11. So this won't be active for quite some time if we don't run a boost on it. We'll run the grass silk even though we don't desperately need to, just to have another thing running so that when we rerun our other boosters, they'll get more time. And what do we need here? It might be a good idea for this to be a military unit. I'm just saying, I suspect we're going to need a lot of bodies to really be safe. Okay. What a find. So do you have any important buildings left? Yeah, it's probably worth building an Inquisitor's Divinity here. So I mean, do we wanna try to just convert every building into, or every city into hard science mode? Maybe just like push really hard for the science victory while we watch the world burn? It's a fun idea, if nothing else. Stuff's really expensive, and we will get there on our own. We also don't need that much. Let's buy another 5 gold. There's not really enough of anything else on the market to make too much of a difference. I probably would want to buy out all the Moonleaf. If that's my plan, we'll do that next turn. Just get that Moonleaf booster run again as quickly as we can. It won't be immediate, but... yeah, okay. So, deal with you in a second. I'm gonna try to get this Sea Ruin because we can get pretty close to it within our borders, and the necrophages don't actually own this yet, so we're not locked out. The pearls did disappear. Frustrating. We can still go get the ruin though. They knew it. They knew I was coming. Okay, I'm at peace with red at least. They're not going to give me any shit about it. Or rather, they're not going to kill me about it. Okay, so we still have a lot of our dust technology yet to be implemented. Arla Sabor can drop. Wow, are they really gonna? They're gonna pump that out very quickly. Could I attack this turn if I needed to? If I decided that this was the thing? No, we're not close enough. So at level 3, Arla could pull 50% of the fortification. That's pretty significant given the number of units in that city. Just declaring war would get me 640 dust instantly. And there's really not that much... there's not that much necrophage land in the world. I definitely like the idea of putting some units together over here because we could potentially see a counterattack. But Nyrinus is also like very high value as far as regions go because it's one of the very, very few places in the world where there is Hyperium, and a single Hyperium Extractor would actually be very high value for us because of the 3 Silic villages that we have. Ooh, the Eresis would not necessarily be a bad third assimilate either. If we take away Mapal, the necrophages are... I mean, the necrophages are already dead in the water. I don't know why I'm even talking as though they are a real threat. Okay, conquer any other oceanic region to get to the mouth of Photios. I think we've just given up on the idea of having any amount of... oh dear. I believe that's a neutral submarine. Given up on the idea of having any kind of control over the oceans at all. We're just going to let the oceans happen. So what? We would declare on Mapal. We would drop the walls from inside. We would uproot Chaka, move forward, and then we would burrow Khazar over. But I guess on the turn that we burrow Khazar over, we won't be able to use Khazar to battle because Khazar will not have an action point left. I have the Dusterkin over here. It's not terrible. I might want to rearrange these a little bit, honestly. I definitely want Chaka... Oh, right. Chaka hasn't been healing because of the healing thing. So actually, let me do a little bit of rearranging here prior to potential combat. So, uproot to make this region available. Chaka, you migrate to here. Then you uproot. So we're gonna resettle. We'll move Fakir over next turn. I don't much care for Brahma. Like, as a region, I don't think Brahma has a ton of value. So actually, maybe I'd rather have Khazar over here. Yeah, we'll leave Brahma empty for the moment, and then we'll shuffle Khazar over to or we'll shuffle Fakir over to here and root Khazar here next turn. That'll put us in a pretty good position to do something pretty awful, which has kind of been our calling card for this game so far. It's just how we get down. That didn't register the way I wanted it to. Migrate. Root. Okay, there we go. Good little shuffle. Probably not. Definitely keep the die running. We're gonna need that. Plus 50% luxury booster cost. Not a good time. And we need to get 10 activations of second tier luxuries. So that's going to make the Grass Silk very hard to run. And it's going to make the Moonleaf borderline impossible to run. Because we're going to need 60 to fire stuff now. Okay, obviously, Advanced Alchemy Lab. We have a huge number of cities where the Advanced Alchemy Lab is going to be, like, actually spectacular, right? And I am going to prioritize that in many places. It's not so great in Edina. Here it's very high priority. Like, even that high. So we could buy enough Grass Silk to fire a Grass Silk booster. Again, helps us buy time on our other boosters thanks to our unique technology. And it does get some progress toward clearing this very, very annoying event. Best contributor gets 150 Titan Bones. That's pretty meaningful as well. And each contribution pays back 300 dust at the end of the event. I don't know. That's pretty rough. Am I going to do this? 20 Hyperium is no small price. Oh, they worked out their issues. Somebody paid somebody quickly. That's a real shame, because we paid a lot to make that war start. So it's still the case that nobody has this, because it's a nightmare to get Hyperium on this map. It's a nightmare to get both Hyperium and Mithrite, actually. Be the first to have 5 heroes at level 8. As a person who has 1 hero at level 8, we are at the forefront of that one. This would be pretty cool for us, but 15 districts is... Well, you know, we have a city... No, we don't. Never mind. I was going to say, we have a city where this is maybe even possible, but the pearl cost of getting another 5 districts onto that city makes that somewhat unlikely. I think I might just go straight to living lab tools here. We'll finish fluid biomechanics. I think that's okay. I also think this is okay. I'm going to do this. We could use the Hyperium. Is there Hyperium on the market? Some. We could totally pull this off, actually. Right, get up on glass steel. That's not too hard, and then, yeah. We might be able to make a play for this, especially if we do actually end up taking Nyrinus. Probably like in a peace deal would be my guess. Have you noticed I'm always making war right around Empire plan time, so that our resources are stretched as thin as they can possibly be? How many turns until you're at... Okay, so in 3 turns, you'll have the ability to drop 75% of the fortifications of that city. We could just delay. We could just stand here, wait for winter, see what the pearl situation looks like. The fact that the war between red and purple lasted 0 time at all definitely hurts, because I do not want to have to try to take both red and purple's capitals. I think that is a recipe for trouble. There are still some pearls out here in the world. I don't know, maybe the science plan is the better plan. This is a district. So 1, we could build docks. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You know? Not that I particularly need that legendary deed, but we could totally get there with Bhopal. All right, let's hesitate a little bit. We will let winter fall. We will let winter fall and see what it looks like. I can't imagine 200 pearls. We're gonna have to keep an eye on everybody else and try to trade pearls off of them if they get any reasonable amount. But it looks to me like nobody's ever going to trade us pearls. Yeah, that bar is so... Man. Everybody bought good pearl technologies, and so they actually value their pearls, which is a nightmare. So we would still need 180 pearls. I did end up building that tower, right? Yes, I totally did. So yeah, right now it would be just 180 pearls. Over 2 winters, maybe? Over 1 winter, not so likely. And there probably will be... I think there's a good chance that we will see a second winter before the end of the game, but we can't afford to have that... Like, we need a second winter before we can finish Step 6. We don't see any of their ground armies, so I don't know what the stats on their... Oh, never mind. Of course I know what the stats on their units are like. I have a spy in their city. Okay, these foragers are actually pretty well statted at this point, as is Feeds on Bones. Yeah, kind of like terrifyingly well statted. My own units are not quite up to that level, honestly. They're not terrible, but that's a tough one. Okay, a couple of these units are pretty bad, but they have 3 of these really, really strong foragers, 4 effectively, with another one completing if we don't go at them this turn. So the question is just like... And then their militia stats are fine. Do I think we're ever going to have a better shot than we have right now? Probably not. The garrison probably just fills if we sit here and watch. We know that they have a lot of naval units. We don't really know what their total ground army strength looks like. The more I think about this, the more I'm thinking we should maybe just attack right now. Just go ahead, blow their fortifications, hit the city with 165 fortification, because like that's an amount that we can knock off in 2 attacks. And it would be better for it to be winter, but it's not, I think, viable for us to wait. Well, our units with these weapons in dark form will be pretty scary. But we have Khazar. Yeah, I think let's just go. I think let's do it. Let's claim a player capital, and then we'll see about other moves afterward. And actually, we may want to reassign a lot of people to influence here so that we can try to make an expensive peace deal and still hit our empire plan. And also our empire plan is going to be more expensive with us having Mapal. It's also going to be considerably more effective with 13 additional districts in the empire. Yeah, let's do it. So, are you at war with anybody else? You are at war with Pink. Let's talk to Pink. Hey, Pink. Let's say I were to declare war on the necrophages on your behalf. What would you give me? So they would be willing to give us some technology, but it's got to be like old bad technology. Get 4 pearls off of them. Can't get anything that really matters. We could get some spices. Wow, they're really not into giving me Hyperium. That's fine. You don't have any stockpiles. You don't have any fortresses. Well, we wouldn't be able to make that kind of trade here anyway, I don't think. So like a small amount of spices, maybe? We have 2, and we could use another 13. This I don't care about. Yeah, let's see if they'll throw 13 spices in. It's very close to free in terms of the influence cost of adding that term. They will not. All right. Well, as it stands, this deal is massively in their favor, and maybe we just take advantage of that. I mean, like, do I want another tech just to move me along? Maybe. And because we don't already have peace, we can't add stuff like vision or trade deals or anything, which is a shame because I really would like those. Huh. Well, we could just start here. This is pretty in their favor. Here, let's go ahead and do this. They want peace with us anyway. And then now we can put some of this stuff. I don't know why I was thinking it was going to appear on their half of the table. The map exchange is actually pretty much wholly to their benefit. Are we going to be running trade with them? We potentially could if they have docks. It looks like they do. So yeah, this would give us an ocean trading partner. Right now, all of our trade's internal, right? Yeah, so securing some trade deals might actually have some benefit. If we do like a commercial agreement and a research agreement. I'm not opposed to this. It's very expensive, 444. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong target. Okay, they still like that a whole lot. And in fact, we might hold on. We can actually get like a real technology, maybe, not that real. I don't know that we would want a lot of this top end stuff anyway. Rare metal foundry would be worthwhile. But I don't really want to break the bank too badly. Like, we could get rare metal foundry, but we'd have to give them something big in return, I'm assuming, or a couple of really big things. And I don't want to pay too much influence here. But I might be willing to take like alchemical armor, which will give us the ability to turn glass steel into, or titanium into those science accessories. Of the things they're willing to give us, I think that might be the most sensible. Okay. You know, good to get bought into a war if you can. Alright, so Khazar needs to get up and come closer. There's no way that... Oh, Fakir doesn't have an action point left this turn anyway, right? We just moved him. Okay, let's damage their fortifications from within the city. Okay, Arla took a hit there. But the action never fails. You always get the action even if the spy gets caught doing it. And let us have at them. Is there any other... No, there's nobody else that's going to be able to get to helping range here. Okay. Still a lot of fortification. So, they have some pretty high initiatives, but we have the ability to cheat. I wasn't even thinking about this, but with our all-flying army here, the cliffs are going to be phenomenally powerful. Now, the downside is that we're going to have a little bit of trouble controlling combat through this bottleneck. Like, it's going to be pretty valuable for us to get our Urkin to the front lines, and that's not a thing that we are actually going to have any control over. I am wondering if this is going to turn out to be a multi-turn battle, kind of regardless of whether we want that to be the case or not. So the cliff is open over here. I guess it does make sense to have somebody standing at the bottom of that then. Okay, let's figure this out. So first of all, their 3 good units are going to move. So I would expect that we're going to see someone makes it to here, someone makes it to there, someone makes it to there. This monk is super dead. There's not really anything we can do about that. Then my archer gets to go, and I mean, the most important thing we can possibly do is kill these things. So let's aim at this one. The lice want to run forward and fight, and I think that we should encourage that. Can't issue orders. There we go. Yeah, my guess is this thing's going to run to one of these spaces, so if there's a spot open, we should retaliate in that spot. And then you won't be able to make it to here. So I don't know. We'll see. A lot depends on how these first 3 units move. Okay, you 2 can just fight down the cliff. That's fine. Oh, that's really rough. You move immediately after this one moves. The initiative there worked out really, really badly for us. And then I think we have to ask the question, how much do we want to limit travel over the cliff? How much do we want to keep our people in this pocket? You know, at least the fact that they have some high initiative units means we're probably going to get some some reasonable counterattack chains going. Like, one of the most important things we could do here is make sure that we have some way of getting Khazar forward, and it's actually looking like that's going to be quite unlikely. They don't have any flying units, so we don't have to worry about getting invaded. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to run this first turn. Okay, so that's exactly what we thought was going to happen. Same deal there. Same deal there. Pretty great sweep strike back, honestly. Could you please not run on top of the reinforcement panels? We have a lot of lice. Okay, so we're gonna bleed. We're gonna bleed. But got a couple of really good attacks off there. So my hope is that they're going to have units just like burn themselves on the lice, which is why it would be really great for the lice to actually get into combat if possible. Now, unfortunately, we are just going to lose a lot of health to disease. The disease spread down the cliff. There's not really anything we can do about it. How early in the turn order are you? Pretty early, actually, relative to my units. So I'm going to have you move here. I'm going to have you stay put. Under no circumstances do I want you to get down from there. Just punch whatever you can punch while you stay up. So that cliff face is free control. Yeah, you do what you can. We should definitely have the Urkin targeting their best units. But again, we have remarkably little control over how this is all going to unfold. Alright, they have engaged in the maximum amount of cowardice and denied me my ability to fight down the cliff. How dare they make a move that is strategically valuable for them? So this thing is still pretty high priority. Where's the other one? The other one's there. Yeah, we have got to get rid of these two. You move so late in the turn that you probably don't get to determine anything, and probably their hero's going to keep having at you, which is actually fine. I would really like a lot of focus in this direction if we can get it. Alright, we're getting a reasonable amount of healing out of our hero now. Okay, good stuff. So they only really have the one good unit left. And sadly, there's no version of this where I get to control that unit's moves. It just has too much raw initiative. But yeah, this is looking much more under control. It's doing its level best to back out of the surround, which is the right move. Oh, I can't believe that worked. That's so frustrating that it survived. Yeah, gosh, I hope that we're able to finish it off with the ranged attack. Or that, I guess, will work. So we're still going to lose, like, this monk's dead to disease. This monk might be? No, okay, narrow survival. Yeah, we ended up losing 4 of them. I mean, obviously, it's not, like, terrible. What did we pick up? Eyeless ones. You know? Interesting. Oh, hey, big shock, big surprise. They don't have a lot of the really important basic stuff. So let's build a cargo dock. I want to just build it here, right? Because it'll level up that district. Yeah. An advanced alchemy lab would be really good here. I'm going to put this whole city on influence for the moment. I'm going to do the same in a lot of our cities, I think, because we're going to need to generate a huge... I might go everybody on influence for a couple of turns here. We're going to need a huge boost to actually make it to a reasonable empire plan. Let's see what that number looks like. Y'all need to go... Okay. That's everybody. So that gets us 431 4 times. The empire plan that we would like to do is 1680, which is fully within reach. We just need to stay on it. And then, unfortunately, that does mean that an expensive peace deal would cost us that. But basically, what I'm thinking is some version of this thing where we get them to give us Nyrinus is what we're really looking for. So, like, is that at all? We can give them as much tech. Like, it doesn't matter, right? They can't possibly. Okay, so they're not interested in making a deal right now. Part of that's got to do with their apprehension of their military strength, but part of their apprehension of their military strength has to do with them having a lot of boats, which I don't care about. So, what the right move may end up being taking Nyrinus by force, like just moving the army back to Karat. We can collect some reinforcements on the way, and then obviously we can cheat some of the Urkins over. Chaka should be healing relatively quickly now. Yeah. I think that's kind of the move. The thing is, they do have a couple of ground units around here, so we can't leave immediately. We need to stick around in the area at the very least. If they bring Skoros ashore, we have to be able to kill that Skoros. So what I might want to do here actually is... Did you relocate this turn or last turn? It was this turn, okay. I'm probably going to have Fakir burrow over to there. We might want to do some shenanigans here with the positioning of our Urkins. Because, like, obviously we want Khazar on the front line. Khazar is the highest level of our Urkins, and he is probably the greatest danger in combat. Is Fakir is also level 3? They're both good. Maybe it can just be you who leads the assault eastward, but somebody's got to stay behind and protect Mapal. And I guess maybe that can just be Khazar's deal. All right, we will regenerate an awful lot over the course of 2 turns, or 1 or 2 turns here, so that's good. Arla has been reclaimed. We could try to make some deal with purple or red probably, for vision for a moment, so that we could insinuate Arla into their empire, but maybe the actual play is fly the Skyfin over in that direction and get Arla down that way. Yeah, actually I kind of think that's right. Okay, yeah. So we'll try to take Nyrinus via violence. They don't have any ability to reinforce it, really, and we don't have to spend any time in the ocean in order to get to it. And then once we've done that, probably they'll be more amenable to peace. So you just get here and stay here. Actually, I have to make sure that you're in a position where even if the city gets attacked from down here, you're still in the reinforcement range. I think that should be the case. If they attack from this tile, I think we're out of luck. But if they attack from anywhere over here, that should be within reinforcement range. And I guess for the moment we can... Oh no, right, that's all cliff. I know that's all cliff. We just use the fact that that's all cliff to our advantage. It is not actually easy with a city this size to keep it well defended. We could pop one of our developed governors over to Mapal, just very quickly, for the purpose of having some defense in it. Although none of our governors are equipped for battle or anything. We have some people who have some levels. Yeah, if we put some gear on Weyrasigo, he would be capable of combat. And we do have the money for it. That might be a good idea. We'll get another governor for Ochk. So the level 7 Weyrasigo, let's really quickly here just tier 2 dust gear you up. Give you a real bow. Am I setting myself up to just get mind controlled? I don't know, maybe. Let's take this. And I don't know if army boosts apply to the units in the garrison. It's possible they don't. Okay, we'll just do this for right now. But look at that. That's already got Weyra's stats way up into functional at defending from this guy mode. Okay. Yeah. was a big turn. It was a big effective turn. And there is some benefit to making an attack like that while we're still in light mode, because like look at the rate of healing. I may want to press quickly. They are in fact going to try and do the thing. So I am not going to. I'm gonna declare. You're not the boss. I'm the boss. Wait, Seiko has no action point? That doesn't seem right. Oh. Huh. Okay, we got the Eye of the Farthinker out of that. I'm surprised by that. We did, in fact, declare war against another empire. They would like a map exchange. That's the thing we can negotiate about. Are you just going to retreat? Yes, okay, that's what I figured. Take a lot of the sting out of that, that potential attack right away. And then I have enough movement to go over here and search a ruin. Hooray! Hey, look, a pearl. Okay, so we can just kill this thing at the beginning of next turn. They done goofed. I kind of get what they were going for, coming ashore, but they clearly had not really considered it. Alright, that's perfect. We can get exactly to the ruin. And the Skyfin is just going to get over there and bring us Vision of Red's territory so that we can insinuate our spy. And I'm feeling pretty okay about where we're at then. So there are 3 empires that still have capitals left. I was hoping we could get them to sort of have at each other. It looks like that's not going to happen. We're going to be responsible for all of the hard work. It is what it is. You know, it's fine. So this settler is probably dead. The fact that these no longer belong to the necrophages means that there are minor faction boats running around down here. We'll live though. The settler won't live, but the rest of us will live. Okay, so Chaka's going to be full really soon. Do I want to uproot Chaka and just start moving toward Karat? Maybe. Do we have the money to buy, or do we have the availability for spices? We do not. There's a single gold, and I guess I'll take it. The Moonleaf problem is still a problem thanks to that damned event. Oh, hey. We picked up a spice deposit. Actually, that's pretty cool. It's a shame we don't have access to, like, Dorgeshi or something. One of the minor factions. Well, I guess they're the only one. But the minor faction that gives us extra luxuries would be really helpful right now. So that's a couple of necro drones, and we know the stats on the necro drones were pretty good. I don't know if they're still being updated. They could potentially be a danger to us. Do we want to move Fakir? Maybe. Yeah, you know what? Let's uproot Chaka. Let's bounce Fakir over to there. Oh, right, you're only allowed to migrate every so often. You're not allowed to do the thing I want to do, probably for the exactly the reasons that I wanted to do it for. Well, I do think I'm going to move you. Let's prepare ourselves. Oh, they built an intensifier over it. That is lovely. When we claim this city in a moment, that's going to do a lot of good work for us. And you, yeah, I guess you're exactly where you need to be. Okay, it looks like they are planning to bring the necro drones ashore, probably. waiting until after I committed the end of my turn to make their final movements. Very sneaky. We look at that Urkin every day and wonder why you put it right next to us. That's not... that's your fault, not my fault. Oh, we got Exit back. Exit, yeah, after a certain amount of time, I believe captured heroes are just automatically released, and I did not notice when that release happened. Alright, so you can't retreat or you would just be immediately killed. Seems to me like that's a weird position. So you have 2 movement and 3 range. This is actually pretty ideal. So the only place that that Skoros can get to is right here. And then actually we can line up so we have a better approach. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. I'm not saying we're definitely not going to get anybody mind controlled, but I am saying we can really minimize the impact of the mind control here. All right, here it comes. And it did happen. But with any luck, that'll be the only one. Oof, didn't quite have the strength to finish it. Well, I think we're probably going to lose somebody then. Okay, well, I mean, like, I hate to put it like this, but at least it's just a unit of lice. So that clears you out. And then we need to report. Are these all just ships? They are indeed. Now, I don't have an action point right now. They dare not attack, though. This attack would be terrible for them. Oh, yeah, we knew this was going to happen. We are just going to go ahead and eat the retreat. We're going to dive and receive 50 Titan Bones. That's pretty cool. It's not enough to run a booster. We captured one of their spies, decreasing our morale. How dare you? That's good. That gives us a little bit more negotiating leverage because they will probably want that spy back. And then the next 5 turns, search that ruin. I mean, it's doable. I don't know if I care. Doable, but probably not necessary. Here's my feeling about that. We have a ton of money. I should definitely be buying heroes. We should have more heroes. So first things first, I'm going to put Ochk under the watchful care. Oh no, Exit is still... Wait, I thought we knew who captured Exit. Wasn't it you? Am I misremembering? I thought that was a thing that we... Maybe I'm combining... I combine old memories of games in my head sometimes with things that are going on. Okay, so they would do this deal right now. The thing is, we are taking Nyrannus. The war ends with Nyrannus under my control. Whatever we have to do to make that happen is happening. So Satasa has given us some leverage, but it's not enough. Okay, that's fine. We'll do it the hard way. So yeah, you are going to plant, but we have to wait until next turn to do it. And you know, we never did get around to doing this, but we absolutely could. You gotta take the 2 Harmonite over there and search that ruin. And I can definitely afford to update my Harmonite design just so that we know for a fact there won't be any trouble. 2932 versus 2442. Okay. Yes, it does make sense to do that. I'm not going to give them strategics. That feels unnecessary, but we can certainly afford this. All right, they should be more than a match for any neutrals that they encounter on the way there. So we're not going to worry about that. That settler is almost certainly dead. We are doing our level best on all of this stuff. We could just buy out some buildings too, potentially. So we actually don't need a huge number of heroes. There's a level 4 Exid here who I don't... we were looking at this hero before. Yeah. This new Exid makes a great governor for Kendre. Or for Ochk. And that'll help with the influence as well. We are going to have quite a lot to work with. So, if I attack here, does that... It does include the Urkin. Okay, cool. Let us do that then. I think we're done. No, sorry. You should be continuing to approach. They're just going to retreat when we attack. I don't think we need to worry too much about this. I am not even going to include the Urkin as reinforcements, I don't think. Alright, the dock finished, leveling up that other district, which is fun. Come on. We will not include you. They will expect that we will, and that's part of why they will retreat here. Yep, and that means that I can, this turn, plant you. A public granary. The public granary tech is not super high value at this point in the game. Yep, that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen. This is also going to happen. We can auto-resolve that. Surprised they managed to do that much damage. Must be a lot of controllable space. Oh wow, we're healing so quickly that we do survive the second retreat. So actually, we are totally going to make it back to our territory. That's kind of wild. Alright, do we want to just... I mean, it's not necessary for Arla to go, like, in the capital or anything. Vision of Sadrej would be good enough. Arla can make her own vision once she has the ability to get into their cities. Probably. Oh, that's really awkwardly positioned. Alright, just get out of the water. The tiny, tiny city of Sadrej. So you can see their pillars and stuff. This is where they built the Throne of Emperors for some reason. Have to admit to some level of surprise there. Probably not, right? Well, you know, here's the thing. The value of public granary at this point in the game is low enough that might... No, the payout to us is just not worthwhile, I don't think. We could counter-propose if you have some pearls. No, you still don't. Really. Like, take the myth right off the table. I don't want it. But give me... How much do I have? 11. Give me 4 spices? No, that's a terrible deal. You're not getting this. Okay, they are attempting to flee, which obviously I will not be allowing. Cool, exactly enough movement to join up. Now you are not going to be able to provide vision all the way across the channel. You have impressive vision, but not quite impressive enough. If we can get those spices, I mean, we can make a different deal for the spices. And then we still need the 15 gold, which we're most of the way to. And we're 4 of these off of... I mean, we're actually going to be able to have all of the Irkin abilities if we really want them. And maybe I'd be better off using my Moonleaf on endurance training as it is about to be winter. Rather than trying to save it to use it as a booster, because like that is feeling pretty unlikely. Maybe. Okay, yeah, you should definitely do that. So just rampaging lice. This would definitely be a good place for another advanced alchemy lab. We'll have to push that a little bit. And here... How many anomalies are actually built over in this region? It looks like just 2. So this would be good here, but not great. Let's build a large-scale aquatic center, because we are obviously going to be putting people back on science at some point. Let's just make a deal with the vaulters for the spices that we need. It is such a small amount. I'm sure we can just buy them. So I need 4. Tell me what that costs. It turns out to be quite expensive. They have a very high opinion of the value of spices. This looks doable. Well, hold on. Can I do it for something else, though? No, they're really going to gouge me on this. And you know, I'm annoyed by it, but like they are correctly assessing the situation here. They do kind of have me over a barrel. And I don't actually value the mithrite, so... Okay, that is the information I was looking for. So we don't have any idea what those units are. I'm not going to, like, devote a spy to this or anything. It's not a huge amount of fortification, though. It's very conquerable. All right, let's go ahead and run into this next turn. Let's commit the Empire plan, and then we'll call it there for the episode. I also want to wrap this up. And here is the winter. We are now fast and vicious. And we have a plan. We have something of a plan. Okay, you make it to... Ooh, well, that turns out not to be safety. You do have to get out of the water. You're not going anywhere. You should go ahead and search this ruin. We did it! We moved the quest along. We discover the Silic explorers held captive by hostile haunts. Save them within 10 turns to earn the Disharmony Shield. Okay, a plus 20% attack shield. That's a pretty cool reward. I mean... Do you have to spawn some haunts, or what? How do we do this? Zoyos gets another level. It's just 10% more damage on all of our units. That seems fine to me. Argbad Bow's Valhalla gets another level. Also quite useful. Cold War from red. Market ban from green. Pretty annoying. Stockpile thing happened, which we suspected would be the case. Over in Mapal, we can definitely get some industry, some stuff built here in quick order, short order. All right, let's do all that. Let's go ahead and win this fight real quick. I mean, it would be cool if we were certain we were going to hit here. Yeah, this looks fine. I'm quite surprised that they did that. Instead of moving to a position where they could do literally any damage. Alright, so I think we're probably going to just go ahead and leave... Yeah, let's grab that. I'm going to go ahead and leave the rest of your movement for next video. I think we're doing this thing. I mean, we may as well. I don't care about this so much, but, you know, we might still build some military units. I think that is an acceptable Empire plan. And so, just out of curiosity, given the winter and the fact that we've embarrassed them a couple of times, do they have any different feelings about the truce? No, not right now. Of course, we know that saving and reloading the game for next episode is going to potentially change their feelings, so we'll check in on them again presently. But I think that right there is going to be it for us for today. And hooray, the length of this episode made up for the length of the last one. Thank you all so much for watching. I know that things have been a bit spotty around here lately, but this week I was able to stick to the schedule and actually produce a reasonable amount of content, and I'm hoping that that's going to continue to be the case going forward. I think I've sort of got myself figured out here. So come back next time on Monday for another week of Endless Legend. We are going to put this one in the books. We are absolutely going to win. Fingers crossed, not jinxing it. And then from there, I think, on to Endless. It's going to be a big week of humiliations. And we'll see you then.